Hey y'all, whether it's morning, evening, or afternoon, I'm just glad that you guys had decided to vibe with E. Yes, the one and only E. And today, this podcast episode is really very important to me because it impacts on my career. So I think y'all know what it is because I mentioned it like early in the beginning of the month. But if you don't know, sit back and get comfortable because I'm about to tell you. So with that being said, y'all, whether y'all on the go or doing whatever the case may be, I just want y'all to sit back, relax, and enjoy hearing my voice. Overall, just enjoy hearing my voice because why not? So if you're new here, welcome. And if you're not new to this but true to this, hey y'all, what's up and what's poppin', and let's get into it. As always, happy Wednesday, whatever day y'all listen to this, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I don't know, but happy day to y'all. I hope y'all all are having a wonderful day, as well as whenever you guys listen to it. Also, happy spring. Like, spring is finally here, but it's still cold as hell outside, and I think the weather needs to go back to how it was last week and 2 weeks ago, because I was seeing 70s and 60s. Now it's back at like the 40s and 50s. I'm not with that. But hopefully, it gets to where it's supposed to be, and we're going to rock out. So let's get into it, because this one is just so exciting to me. And I'm probably a little bit behind, but I don't care. We're going to celebrate this all month, okay? So today's vibe of the day is social work. Yes. Cause this is social workers month, as well as International Women's Month. However, the day of social work was May 19th, which was yesterday. But it's okay. Like I said, we still gonna celebrate this because this is very important to me as a social worker in training. I'm gonna let this be known, and I'm gonna give y'all all the ins and outs of how it is to be a social worker, as well as preparing to be a social worker and what I have experienced and learned on this journey. So let's get into it. Happy Social Workers Day to all the social workers out there in training, doing it now, whatever. You're a social worker, period, in my eyes. And I'm so very proud of y'all because it's not easy. And we have a big shoes to fill, especially when it comes to whatever, type of social worker you are. As well as, you have your nurses, your doctors, teachers, lawyers, everything like that. We are all equal just like them. Okay? So on May 19th, that's when Social Workers Day it's Social Work Day was created. And today we celebrate that with all the amazing social workers worldwide in promoting justice, equality, and well-being for all. So we got to continue to stand together, advocate for change, and build a bright future for everyone. Because together as social workers, we can make a difference within whatever group we're working with, okay? Because I already get into it with y'all, y'all don't, because don't get me started. But we'll learn that further down the line when I really get into it, explaining my experience of how it is, maybe today or maybe in another episode. But right now, we're just going to give y'all all the backgrounds of a social worker. So it is saying, World Social Work Day, but the vibe probably be social workers in general. And y'all know I got to talk about my black social workers, okay? Because we just that. No offense to any other social worker within any other race, but black social workers, I see a lot of us every day. Every day when I'm on TikTok and Instagram, I see a lot of black social workers. And I'm surrounded by a lot of black social workers because of my HBCU, okay? So let me get into it. What is a social worker? A social worker is a professional dedicated to improving the well-being and the quality of individuals, families, and the community. They work with in a variety of settings, including schools, hospitals, government agencies, and nonprofit organizations. Their prime goal is to help people navigate through the challenges such as poverty, homelessness, mental health issues, abuse, and substance abuse. Social workers often provide counseling, advocacy, and resources to empower individuals and families to overcome obstacles and achieve stability. They may also collaborate with other professionals such as psychologists, doctors, and educators to ensure comprehension to support their clients. Now, let me give y'all a little taste of what type of social worker I'm going to be, because I always try to give people hints on what I want to do, and I'm gonna let y'all know I want to be a school social worker. And the reason why I want to be a school social worker is because I will never forget in middle school the counselors that I had dealt with. They made an impact onto my life, and since that day, years ago, they have impacted me in a way to become a school social worker, because they helped me. It was either to be a school social worker or a counselor. Either one. A school counselor, they still intertwine because they still work together. The only difference is their title. And if you don't know, guys, I do have my certification as behavioral health specialist trainee within counseling. So I guess I'm specialized in both, but I really have a turn on detour turn into a social worker. And there's nothing wrong with either one of it, because I support both of it, but they also help with each other. And I might get my master's in social work. I mean, not in social work. I am going to get my master's in social work, but also in counseling as well. Because that one is a little bit, I would probably say easy, but it's also the same level. But it'd be considered human resources. So either way, shout out to counselors, therapists, as well as psychologists, because it's not easy at all to study and to become these people. It's not easy. So if you have a counselor, therapist, psychologist, social worker, please honor them and give them the updue respect that they deserve, because it's not easy. It's not. And the thing is, I learned from both counseling when I was in community college and up until now as an undergrad, is that when you are in the field of willing to help others, especially with their mental health and things of that nature, you have to remember to, sometimes it's hard to stay consistent to your feelings, because at times you don't want to make it about you. First of all, we can't make it about ourselves at all, period. As social workers, we're here to help our clients. And we have to keep in mind that it's our duty to protect them at all causes, and also let them know that we're here for them, displaying everything that they needs and wants and things like that. And at times we do want to show our emotions, but they tell us not to. And I understand why, because you don't want your client to be like, oh my gosh, she can't help me, she can't keep us all together. But sometimes we have to break to let our clients know we understand. And at the end of the day, we're human. So like I said, if you have a social worker, counselor, psychologist, therapist, whatever, please give them their flowers, because it's not easy, because they are going through things as well as willing to help you. And I'll never forget, in my social policy class, my professor told me and all my other classmates that in order for you to help someone, you have to help yourself first. So you have to help yourself before you can be willing to help others. And since that day, I was able to, sit with a counselor, be able to figure out what's going on with me, because as a social worker, you got big shoes to fill. And you have to make sure you're straight before you can fix anybody else's life and help them in the ways that they need help with. So play your cards right. But also keep in mind, before you do anything, you have to make sure you're good. Like I tell y'all all the time, if you're new here, sometimes we might have that 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, an hour, whatever, to have a mirror conversation, or to just soak in what's going on to make sure that we're okay. To have that mirror one-on-one or whatever conversation, they'll be like, listen up, let it all out, Social workers play a significant role in addressing social issues such as injustice and advocating for systematic change to improve the lives of many groups. They strive to uphold ethnic standards and culture sensitivity, and their practice realization the diverse and needs of backgrounds of their clients. Social workers encourages in research, policy development, and community outreach to address broad social issues and to promote social justice. Overall, social workers are compassionate, professional commitment to fostering positive change and creating a more equity and stability society. Now, like for me to be a school social worker, I want to work with middle school or high school children. For me, I have to make sure that I'm creating a safe space, period. That's number one rule. You have to create a safe space for your clients because they're the ones that are willing to come to you about any and everything. And it's our duty to make sure that they are getting the justice and help that they deserve. Because like I said, it's hard at times to provide the needs that they need. But we're social workers. Of course, we have to do that because that's what we signed up for. That's what we made a decision for once we went to all these undergrads, grad school, and even to be doctors and so on and so on. Even a lot of social workers has even opened their own practice to be able to help them and have others underneath them to help their clients as well. It's not easy. It's not easy. And a lot of people think, oh, social worker, only time you see a social worker is like on TV or not really in the presence. We're there. You just can't point us out. And I've seen that on TikTok. A lot of social workers be like, sometimes people don't even recognize us, especially when it comes to us black social workers in training and social workers, black social workers, period. So as a African American woman like myself that's going to be a social worker, I'm advocating for all black children. Whatever school I work for, I'm advocating for them because I want to make sure that they're getting the justice that they deserve. Regardless how big or small their issue is, they deserve to have a voice and they deserve to get the help that they deserve. And the reason why I said middle school or high school is because middle school, they just got out of elementary school and they're preparing for high school. And at times, that's where you get to identify who you are. You get a sense of who you are. You get to see who are your friends. You get to see what you like, what you don't like. You get to see what's for you and what's not for you. And as you go to high school, it's like, all right, it's right here. I'm preparing for college, trade, the world, period. And as a person like myself that dealt with things in middle school as well as preparing for high school, I noticed that a lot of children at those ages, between the ages of 11 going on to 18, 19, deal with depression, deal with anxiety, deal with a lot of things that they should not be dealing with, but it happens because at times, you know how children are. Sometimes children are bullies. Sometimes you have to do things to fit in. And I will always want to advocate to my future clients that I deal with, my students, I want to put this in, I want to mold this in their head is to be comfortable who you are. And if a person doesn't like you for who you are, then they don't need to be around you. I learned that in middle school. You have to be comfortable within your skin. And you have to be comfortable of what you believe in and what you stand for. Yes, at times people don't believe what you believe, and that's okay. But it really always had me so messed up when people would bully people for just being who they are and liking who they are. And all the stuff that, back then when we were younger and I was younger, all the stuff that we liked that people didn't like, now it's a trend. Like being people, like I don't understand people be like being weird, doing weird stuff. And then everybody like, oh, I'm a weirdo and stuff like that. I'm like, huh? Like, I'll never forget, y'all. Like, if y'all haven't listened to the bully episode, I'll never forget when I was getting bullied just for being smart. Not like, being smart out the mouth, being smart brain-wise. And it always just triggered me because I'm like, would you want me to be dumb? People just don't, children, they don't know what to say. But I feel like once you're in middle school, that's when your maturity level should develop. And you should know, right from wrong. But it takes time for people, and it's okay, it's all right. But as a future school social worker, I'm always going to mold into my students is that no matter what's going on, always remember that. Don't be afraid to be who you are. Don't be afraid to speak your piece, because you're human at the end of the day, and your life matters. Who gives a crap what they don't like about you? And it's my duty to make sure that you remember that you are important, you're special, and everything of that nature. And I'm going to serve you with the justice that you deserve, especially if I don't care how big or small the issue is. I don't care how many issues come my way impacting my students. I will be that social worker that's going to be there for children, and I hope they remember that as they go on within their college careers, trades, military, whatever the case may be. I always told myself as I entered undergrad as a social worker that I must put an impact on the children, because I'll never forget, like I said, my counselors that was at my middle school put an impact on me to the point where they created a group to help young black girls know that they're comfortable with who they are. It's okay to be different. It's okay to be, it's okay to be different, period. But always remember that you are important, and don't let nobody sell you short. Don't let nobody tell you all the nasty things about you, whatever, tell nasty stuff to you. Be strong. And they taught me how to be comfortable with who I am, because we all had self-esteem and stuff like that. And I'm telling you, them counselors, them social workers, them therapists, them psychologists are the ones that are there to help you. That's why I don't hate nobody that works, especially in the education system, as well as the teachers, every little staff member, whoever, because it's hard. It is hard. And within this generation, it's very hard, because now social media plays a big part. And as a black social worker in training, I'm going to make sure that they know the difference between real life situations that's going on versus the internet and trolling and doing things just for clout. Okay? So why are black social workers important? But baby, let me tell you. Black social workers are important because we play a crucial role in addressing the unique challenges faced by black individuals, families, and communities. We bring a deep understanding of the historical and systematic factors that contribute to social equality and racial discriminations. By us impacting the cultural complex approach with us as black social workers, we can connect with our clients and provide a meaningful support and advocate for their needs within the social service system. We are the ones that are able to pursue help and ensure that black voices are heard and that are served to address every situation they have when it comes to culture, social, and economic issues within the black community. Us as black social workers are the ones that are able to advocate within social justice, challenging obstacles, structures, and work towards systematic change that will promote equality and empowerment for black individuals in the community. Now, like I mentioned, within the black community, every class I took so far within my undergrad, we always had a discussion on, would you feel comfortable having a social worker, counselor, therapist, whatever the case may be, to advocate for you? And I always said yes, because we understand each other like the back of our hand. And it's no offense to the other race, but I feel like they wouldn't understand us for us. And they wouldn't understand everything we go through. They would not understand why things happen, like within the community. That's another thing too that also I forgot to mention when it comes to school. Community plays a big role, because a lot of children, they're coming from all over. Where I'm from Baltimore. You have the city, you got the county, you got like deep in the trenches in the city, you got the lavish lifestyle in the county, you got all this stuff, these narratives and stuff that people are saying. But it's like at the end of the day, sometimes your community don't define who you are. And I always said that even when I was in high school. I always say, I'm from Baltimore. I went to school in the county my first year of high school. half of my year in high school. They transferred back to the city. It didn't define who I was, because at the end of the day, no matter where I'm from, it's not going to define who I am within, when it comes to, like, if I'm from the city or the county. And where I'm from, you could tell who's from where. You could tell who is from the city and who's from the county. But I always tell people, don't let your community define who you are, because at times that's not true. You know, like I said, I went to school in the county, you know, and even though I was born in the county but raised in the city, I don't let that define me. I don't let that define me, because I'm a different type of person. I'm a different type of breed. You know, like certain people that grew up in the hood, they don't let the hood define who they are, because they grew out of that. You know, people be like, oh, you can take a person out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of them. Yeah, that's true. But you're not going to let that define me. Like, sometimes you have to show that side. But you got to be careful, because people be like, oh, every little thing you do, they try to define that as you. And I be like, that don't make no sense. Because it's like, nowadays, things change. When I was little, you know, people didn't really want to be in the county. They want to be in the city. And now I'm old, it's like, people in the city want to be in the county. It's like, huh? What's going on? Like, you know, some people want to fake it till they make it. And I be like, you know, even if you was born in the suburbs, it's okay. It's all right. You don't got to play like you a city girl or you a hood boy, whatever the case may be. It's okay to be different. It's okay. You know, at times, I feel like your community does not define who you are, regardless. You know, you born and raised there, cool. Don't let it define you, because like I said, I'm from Baltimore. People be like, oh, you live in the gutter. You come from, well, they say Baltimore. Like, I hear the most craziest things, and I don't let that define me, because I know what I'm a part of and I know what I'm not a part of. Yes, I love my city, born and raised here, love it. But some of the stuff y'all saying, it's not me. That's not me. That's not in my everyday life, not in my everyday living. No. Okay. So when it comes to us black social workers, like things like that, we are on it. We're able to let our clients know, our students, whatever, know. Like, look, don't let that define you. Like, don't let that do that to you. Because people are just crazy. People are really, really crazy. And I'm going to tell you how us black social workers have an impact on our people. Us black social workers can make a significant impact on our community by just being there within the cultural comparisons like I just made, the empathy and the skills that we have to address the unique of us black people for our individuals in the communities. Like through the culture side of things, we're there for service support that we can help our clients navigate the system barriers that also heal them from historic trauma and build resistance. By being the voice for our community and advocating for them within the policies and research, us black social workers can put a huge effect onto the systematic change and challenges, the root causes of social justice. By our presence within the field, by also having that service as well as the source of inspiring and empowerment, we're offering a responsible role that molds us for our clients to be role models in the sense of letting them know that someone's here, someone's able to help you, especially within an incumbent community. Black social workers play a very, very, very deep role when it comes to promoting social justice, like I mentioned, empowering and healing within the black communities as a whole, as a big whole. So when it comes to how does black people and social workers intertwine with each other, we do because we understand each other. Most of us social workers out here has dealt with the things that our clients are going to tell us that we'll be like, I understand. And I'm going to tell you things that I did, but I'm going to tell you what you're going to have to do. You know, and also as a social worker, therapist, therapist, counselor, all that, we have to make sure that we don't make it about us because this is about our client. We can give them our insights, but we cannot tell them what we like. You can't tell them how. We just can't make it about ourselves. That's just the whole thing. Don't make it about ourselves. We have to be there to mold our clients that we're here for them, regardless of whatever going on. We're here for them, especially when it comes to black community. Us as a black community has to stick together. We have to, especially for the generation growing up and coming up in this world. No matter what type of industry you're going into, nursing, lawyer, teacher, engineering, whatever the case may be, I hope that we're able to mold our children. Not even just, as me as a social worker, counselors, therapists, everybody that's going to HBCUs that are part of the Black community, please make sure you mold the generation under you. Make sure you let them know that it's okay. We're here. We understand. We're going to be there for you with open arms. Don't be afraid. That's why I want to be a school social worker, because that's where at times, at times they don't have nobody to talk to outside of school. And most of the time, a lot of children gravitate to their teachers, counselors, and other staff members and social workers, things like that, because they understand them and they have a safe space, because outside of your house, once most children know is their house, school, maybe their work environment, and maybe like sports, whatever. Sometimes we have to be the ones that are able to be there for our children, especially mentors. I forgot to mention, they play a very, 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 very big role. Mentors, coaches, whatever the case may be, anything impacting with a child, we have to make sure that children understand that they are important. They're very important and they're very precious. And we have to make sure that nobody and nothing comes against them or try to play them. Because this is a crazy world. It's very crazy. And I would be hurt to see one of mine be affected. And that's why we have to have people that are willing to do the extreme for children, because they need it. And that's where social workers come into play, counselors, mentors, therapists, because we know how the brain works, what the brain can take, what it's not going to take, and what they need to make sure that they don't have to go through this. So that's when it comes to play, when our black social workers most of the time need it. Baby, we need it at all times. Black social workers, we're often most of the time needed within the community. Yes, at all times. When it comes to systematic racism, economic issues, and social justice issues that are impacted within black individuals and their family. Going back to the community, this includes within their neighbors with the high rates of poverty, crime, access to healthcare, education, and historical events. Black social workers, we play a crucial role within the setting, within a school, where we can support black students facing all types of struggles within academics and the crime justice system. We're able to advocate for them as far as the treatment, the rehabilitation, being there for the children, period. During times of crisis, such as natural disasters or public emergencies, us black social workers are the ones that are in charge of providing a cultural support group and resources for black communities that are being affected by these events. Overall, us black social workers are important and needed whenever they are systematic barriers to equal opportunities for advocating and empowering the black community. Like I mentioned, when it comes to school and neighborhoods, a lot of the schools that are in these neighborhoods, you'd be surprised of how good the school looks versus within the outside. Like outside of school looks good, and the neighborhood sometimes look like, what the hell? And it's like, I see why a lot of people in the black community at times don't want their kids going to schools in the city, because most of the schools that's in the city are surrounded by a neighborhood that they're terrified of. And I thank God every day that the schools that I went to, I'm going to say high school, when I transferred, the neighborhood was not as bad. But like from down the line, like middle school and elementary school, it was good. Now, I'm going to say this. Even though at times within a community, it could be so peaceful. At times, like I said, within the new generation coming up, we got to really, really, really watch them. Because in the city, I went to a city school. Down the street from is like a shopping center. And where I'm from, yes, you'll see dudes on the corner and stuff like that. And I understand the fear that people have. Because I still fear to this day for myself. And I'm not even in middle school or high school anymore. I'm in college. That's where it's like my college is open campus from up to down the whole damn block. And there's a shopping center. And my old high school is right down the street from my university I go to now. I fear every day for them children, as well as my peers at my university, because it's crime everywhere. And it's just like you wouldn't expect crimes to happen in certain places, especially within the poverty. And it's so crazy because people think, oh, poverty is only in the city. Hell no. It's poverty in the county too. Like, I work in the mall, and I see, like, sometimes around the mall, a lot of homeless people, a lot of, like, places that are so, like, picture perfect, they'll say. Some of that has to go through poverty. And it breaks my heart because, like, it's children that's growing up seeing this. And I support the parents that will move here to here to here to make sure that their kids don't go through that. Like, for me, instance, where I live at my whole life down there, it wasn't a lot of crime. But every now and then, you'll hear in your phone light up, Citizen app, that's what we have. This happened, and it don't be so far from home. And it just be like, it scares you. Because it's like, dang, if it happened over there, it can happen over here. Like I said, I'm from Baltimore. People be like, that's Charm Crime City. Not necessarily. Because it's states that's going through 10 times worse shit than we're going through. That is impacted with children. And it hurts me every day. I go, and what we have on Instagram, Murder Inc., on the news, anything, just hearing about something that's being dealt with a child. The child don't deserve that. A child wasn't even able to live their life due to something that had nothing to do with them. And that's the thing I tell people too. Bullets have no name to it. They have no name to it. People will have a shootout and then don't even realize they just shoot innocent people, especially children. They're very, very innocent. Especially when it comes to within a school environment. You want to put your children in one of the best schools ever. But sometimes just like the best schools ever have their best bullshit too. And then it's like, do I want to homeschool my child? Do I want to do this? Want to do that? It's like a lot. And that's why us that are social workers, counselors, mentors, coaches, teachers, whatever, have to make sure that we conduct a safe environment for these children, mentally and physically, especially for us, because we're putting ourselves on the line. And it's not hard. God, it is hard. It is hard. Sometimes we think it's not hard because what we see, the outside looking in. But baby, the inside is hard. It's very, very hard. And when it comes to healthcare, having access to healthcare, I'll never forget in my policy class, I never understood policy that much until I took it last semester. And it's so crazy how and everything impacting policy and within the black people were screwed. Like having access to healthcare, having access to a lot of benefits, we're screwed. We're screwed. And that's why us social workers that are working within communities, nonprofit, hospitals, schools, communities dealing with substance abuse, physical, mental abuse, we are the ones that are advocating for our community to get the resources that they need, because if we don't have it, we're screwed. It's already bad enough we're screwed to get it, but why be screwed enough and not have it? Such as dental insurance, doctor insurance, the insurance period. It's hard. It's so hard, y'all. It makes me so emotional just talking about it, because us social workers are putting ourselves on the line. And people just think, oh, social workers don't make jack. Are you dumb? Are you dumb? We make a good penny, especially counselors, mentors, teachers, psychiatrists, all of that impacting on well-being. We make a good penny. So if you hear anybody say, oh, social workers don't make nothing, Oh, a counselor. Oh, a coach. Oh, a teacher. Oh, this, they don't make much. Okay. All right. You'll see. You'll see. Trust me. As I always tell people, I'm going to school to be a social worker for my undergrad. They was like, oh, you ain't going to make no money. Huh? Because people always think, oh, nurses, doctors, lawyers, judges, police officers, they make more. What? No. We make almost down there the same. But that's the thing. If you're passionate about something, you're really not worried about the cost of how much you're making. You're worried about making a change. Yes, you're worried about the money. Of course, you got to worry about your money because you got bills and stuff to pay. But you're really looking at the highlight of, this is what I went to school for. This is where I stress having no sleep. This is where I stress of working with no days off. This is what I stress to work 2-3 jobs, take care of myself, or take care of my family, whatever the case may be, so I can get here. And that's how I look at it. Yes, I want to make sure I'm making some 6-figure money, but I'm also making sure that I'm doing what I said I was going to do and display what I'm going to do. Working, busting my ass off to get to where I will be in a year or two. So with that being said, happy social work month to all the social workers out there. Because, baby, it's not easy. But I'm telling you now, we're going to make a difference. And we will make sure that our clients will get the justice that they deserve. No matter how big or small the issue is, we as social workers are the ones in control to navigate, to make sure that our clients get everything that they want and need in the right way. And also, we have to provide a safe space for them, because they have to be comfortable with us as well as we have to be comfortable with them. Take it from somebody that went to counseling. My very first counseling session, y'all, I will not lie to y'all, I bust down in tears. Because I'm not going to lie to y'all. When y'all talk to somebody that don't know you from a can of paint and they're willing to help you, and you get that sense of the feel, the vibe from a person, you get that sense of, I feel safe and I feel like it's no judgment zone here, that's when it comes to play. Excuse me. I'm not going to lie to y'all. My first counseling session with my counselor, I bust out crying. I felt comfortable with her. I did some research, because you can do research on your counselors, social workers, everything. Don't be afraid, do your research. That's like how you pick it for a doctor, hairstylist and stuff like that. You gotta do your research. You don't want to just go to nobody and then you did do your research and it's like, dang, what the hell I signed up for? So it's okay. Do your research, and I will be proud to give my clients and everybody the platforms that they need to make sure that they're comfortable with me. That's another thing too. The overall thing when it comes to helping people mentally, physically, we have to make sure that they do their background check and they're comfortable. Because you don't want to put yourself in a predicament where you have to work with a person and you don't feel comfortable with them. No, don't do that. Because it's gonna mess you up. It's gonna mess with your mental. Trust me. That's like working with somebody and you can't deal with them. Okay, yeah, they're good within, handling business, but like the way they're talking to you, you have to be good all around the board, like communication wise, understanding me and also handling my business. You can't just be good at one thing and slacking in something else. Hell nah, I refuse. That goes for your doctors, your nurses, your teachers, everything. You want to make sure that they're all around the board good to your liking and what you're looking for. Can't half-ass shit, especially within a career that's impacting with making sure that your clients get everything they deserve and helping them get over, well, not even get over, I like to say patching, closing the door on things. Because like when I had my session, I told my counselor straight up, I don't want to say put it in the past, but putting a seal onto the things I've been through. Being able to let it out and just putting the cap on. Like, when you open up a drink and you open the cap up, I want to put the cap back on that bottom or that top and tighten up so tight to the point where I can't open it no more. And that's our job as social workers. So, to all the social workers out there that's in undergrad, grad school, all that, I'm so proud of you. It's not easy, but baby, it's going to work out in the end because you're doing one hell of a good job and you will be an amazing social worker, counselor, mentor, therapist, psychiatrist, whatever the case may be. This is your season. You're going to get there. And if nobody's proud of you, I'm proud of you because we have to stick together and we have to encourage each other as well as giving each other our flowers. Okay? So with that being said, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed this episode because I did. I hope you guys stay safe and sound. It's getting warm, a little cold, a little breeze. The weather's a little bipolar, but it's okay. Just stay safe, period. And stay cautious of what's going on. Give the people that you don't give their flowers to the most, give them their flowers. Check up on your people. Do something good for a change. Do something out of faith, out of leap. Do a surprise. Just do something good today. I wish y'all nothing but peace and blessings. And as always, you guys will hear from me next Wednesday. Bye.